Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Windi Astuti. I will explain about the conclusion about reconciling between reason and revelation and the role of intellect in Islam from Yasir Qadi. The first, we all know, the very first revelation that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent down was Iqra and Iqra. Of course, meant to read, to explore, to learn more, and the purpose of the first revelation to our Prophet Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, to tell him that Allah would give him knowledge directly. Iqra bismi rabbik. Read or recite directly from Allah in the same series that Allah revealed Iqra. Iqra is repeated twice. If you look at Iqra bismi rabbikal ladzi khalaq, and then a few ayat later, Iqra wa rabbukal akram, twice Iqra is said, and some scholars have said that the purpose of the repetition is that the first Iqra is reference to the Islamic science. Why? Because it is linked with the knowledge from Allah, Iqra bismi rabbik, and the second, Iqra, is a reference to the secular science that we derive. Why? Because right after that Allah says, Iqra wa rabbukal akram alladzi allama bil qalam, the one who taught by the pen. And what do we read by the pen? We read the knowledge of men. We read whatever they have come forth with in encyclopedias, research papers, all of the secular science. This is written by the pen. So Allah is telling to learn first knowledge of religion, and then learn second the knowledge of this world. There is no question that Allah has praised knowledge and thought, intellect, and reflection, and there is no denying that in our Islamic history, unlike previous religion and other civilizations. Okay, next. When we had Deen, we also had Dunya. When we had understanding religious texts, we also encourage chemistry and biology and medicine and astronomy, and many of you should be aware that in the 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th of the Christian era, the centuries our Islamic caliphates preaches the world's great to science, and with the ones who charted out the course of the human body and anatomy, we were the ones who named most of the stars. that to this day, when you study astronomy, most of the stars have names derived in Arabic. We were the ones who invented the science of algebra, and so many other. This goes and so many other. This goes on and on. Okay, next. On the video, Yasir Qadi explained the topic of trying to reconcile, trying to bring forth the good cooperation between the intellect and between the Quran in Arabic. The intellect is called akal, and the scriptures are called nakal. Okay. Still, Yasir Qadi said, what I said is Yasir Qadi said. What I say is Yasir Qadi said. It is from Yasir Qadi. I said the first thing we need to do, let's look at the Quran and try extract the right. When does Allah ask us to use our brains? When does Allah ask us to think? And I have done this. When does Allah ask us to think? And I have done this. And I have come basically to four broad categories of when Allah asks us to think, four broad categories. Example. The first categories. Allah challenges who don't believe in Him, atheists, agnostics, disbelievers. Allah challenges them to think and come to logical and rational conclusion that there is only one God and that God is worthy. That God is worthy of being worshipped. This is the bulk of the times in the Quran. Okay, I will repeat. That God is worthy of being worshipped. This is the bulk of the times in the Quran. That Allah challenges mankind to think. Allah tells us in the Quran that don't you look at your own. Yasir Qadi said, I wanna make a photography and forcing him, look at your bodies, examine your anatomy, examine your own systems inside of you. Don't they see verily no other being would have created this other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala challenges us to think about the creation, the world around us. And Allah says, doesn't it make sense that all of these perfections and harmony has one creator? So, this is the bulk of the verses in the Quran about human intellect, and that is to challenge people who don't believe in God or people who don't believe in Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.